How would you like to understand miracles and how they work and perform miracles? It's possible. Everyone has the capabilities. Miracles can happen starting today in your life. I'm going to share with you what I teach others who do experience miracles. It does work. We're walking proof, and you can start today. It's not as difficult as you think. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. What is a miracle? A miracle is something that happens that seems like an impossible thing. It breaks through difficult situations to turn everything around, usually in an instant. Now, miracles can happen in many other ways. It could be a near miss that I just had with what could seem like a horrible event. An accident. But if you walk away unscathed, it's a miracle. What is that? We can't understand them, but I'm going to talk to you today about the kind of miracles that you can create. Now, a miracle happens with one key ingredient. It starts with absolute faith and letting go. Letting go is faith. Letting go is the ego stepping back and recognizing that it doesn't control everything, and it gives up. The ego wants to control the material world according to how it thinks things should be, and it tries to manipulate everything according to its timeline, and it's always working on its own behalf. Miracles happen when we hand that power over, and we don't have to know what we're handing it over to. You might think you're handing it over to something separate from you, but you're actually not. You're actually releasing the ego and allowing your own power to do the work. And this is why Christ couldn't heal everybody. Healers can't heal everybody. They have to have a participant who accepts it, receives it, allows it, believes it. And that means letting go. So it's not a egotistical, analytical state of being where you're trying, okay, I'm going to do this and this will happen. No, you just have to let go and not try to understand it. Now, I had a spontaneous healing once, and I was very aware that something else, some other energy field, was actually performing some kind of effect on my foot, which I thought I was going to have an operation. It was extreme pain for years. It's just getting worse and worse. And one night when I just totally let go and I released everything and accepted the fact that I got to quit fighting this, I'm just going to have to go get the operation. And it's okay. I was okay with that. And that evening, a pop. I was in that theta state of sleep. I heard a huge pop. I didn't have pain, but I felt it in my foot. And I then felt, it was as if somebody had taken my big toe, that's the area I was having difficulties with, moving it back and forth. Now, I can't do that with my toe. I can barely do it with my own hands, much less if I moved my toe. But I was very aware that my toe was being moved around. And I actually was thinking, while I was half asleep, who's doing that? And I had heard that pop, I felt it, and I woke up with zero pain. And to this day, that was a few years ago, to this day I've had no pain. You can make up whatever story you want, but I'm very aware that other powers were helping me, assisting me. Why? Because I let go and I allowed that actual power of myself. You can call it the higher self, whatever you want. It is not separate from you. The only thing that stands between you and that power is you. Is your false ideas and illusions of the material world and how things work and limitations. When we let go of the limitations and the beliefs and thoughts that I can't have certain things or certain things have to happen for something to show up in my life, when you let it go, then you know that you as a human being can't understand how that's going to come to you. Because you are not thinking when you're in your higher self form. Okay, does that make sense? I'll give you an example. Some of you might be aware of this. This is the rooftop Christmas tree. I wrote this. This is not an original story. It's actually a true story, based on a true story. I wrote the actual novel, but it's based on real incidents that happened out there. There's not an original idea in the universe, by the way. It's a shared collective. So all ideas and inspiration, that's why a lot of inventors who haven't even talked to each other come up with the same things at the same time. They're tapping into that, and that exists right now for you. We have the ability to all tap into that power. It's right there. We have to get out of the way, and that's when miracles happen. All right, so anyways, I wrote this book. It was a story that someone had shared the actual real story with me, and I created a fiction story out of it, and with a romance and everything. My first book ever was published. It became a bestseller with my publisher, and it got awards, and also got picked up to become a movie. It is now a Hallmark movie. It actually plays 24/7, 365 days a year on Amazon Prime and on the Hallmark family channels. How did that happen? My agent, that was bizarre how I even got an agent, because they usually won't talk to you if you don't have a track record, said she's never had anybody just have a first book and in a few months have a producer not only pick it up but take it to greenlight. That means they actually go ahead and shoot the movie. A lot of times they'll purchase the rights and it just never comes to fruition. Is that a miracle? I actually call this, it says, Miracles Happen. The Rooftop Christmas Tree. You might want to watch it. It's a pretty cool movie. The director, everybody, Tim Johnson brought in an amazing crew, wonderful people who produced this. Now, how did that all come together? I allowed it. I never questioned it. In fact, when I wrote this book, I actually saw it on television. I envisioned it. And between that vision, I want you to remember this is key for your miracle, between that vision and what was happening, me writing it, there were no other thoughts or limitations of, oh, can I do this? Oh, that's ridiculous. Nobody gets a movie deal. I never thought that. It just never even crossed my mind. I just knew that when I was writing it, that's what I was writing it for. So I was writing for my future that I knew existed, and I never got in the way of that. So a lot of times what you do is you have that probability. All probabilities exist. You see the probability, and then you take another path because you're not believing it. Or you talk yourself out of things, or you quit before you achieve that big goal. As a business owner, entrepreneur online, people quit all the time. Why? It gets a little tough, and then they decide that they're not up for the challenge. You have to be up for the challenge. You have to be up for whatever you're going through. So a lot of people, if you have physical pain, I tell people, go straight into it. That's breakthrough fear. If you guys have seen my free videos. I have courses, and I teach people how to break through fear and how we do that. We deny nothing. We see purpose in everything. And then we realize that we have to take responsibility for everything that happens around us. Everything. So a miracle's totally possible. We just have to allow it in and let go of everything else that we've created that stops that from happening. And it's our beliefs, our thoughts that then trigger our actions that work against us. What would you like to do right now? What miracle would you like? So if you're saying, I'll give you an example. I hear this all the time. I can't tell you how many people tell me they want to win the lottery. That is a statement of going into, most of the time, not all the time, but I have never seen it not be a statement of lack. However, I will say Eckhart Tolle bought a lottery ticket when he had absolutely no money and won $2,000. But he was able to do that because he had no expectations, and that was one resource for him to try. Most people want to win the lottery because they think it's going to fix something for them that they don't accept. Eckhart Tolle was in a state of awakening. He wasn't expecting that to be the life-changing thing for him. It was just something that was going to benefit him greatly to allow him what he needed to continue his work. Now, if you want something because it's going to fix where you are now, you're not dealing with what's happening now, and you want that to make it go away. And that is not going to be an opening for miracles, because you're not seeing it as an opportunity for you to master and change. And when you do, you break through it and you open yourself up to absolute miracles, because now you got it. You understand that if you are in a situation and you think a lottery is going to solve your problems, then look at the situation and say, what must I learn and do here? Because it's going to take me to something great, maybe a higher paying job or your own business or whatever else happens that you never even expected. You don't name it. You don't name it. You just know that you have to work through where you are now, because you got yourself where you are now. So no lottery is going to solve that. You're going to continue to have the same patterns. That's why the majority of lottery winners said it's the worst thing that happened to them. Divorces, broke, all kinds of issues. Why? They never changed the behavior and thoughts of who they were. And so they were still thinking with a lack mentality, or not dealing with the opportunities, the challenges they had to master them. And so therefore that fixed nothing. Miracles can happen when you let go of everything. You're not trying to make something happen to fix your life. You're just saying, I'm in this situation. Whatever I'm doing isn't working. So I'm going to let go and go into that higher self, that higher power that I've never lost, that is me. It's not, people think the higher self is something sitting out here. It's not. It's you. The only thing between you and that miracle, that higher power that says yes to whatever is possible out there, which is everything, is a story and a limitation that the ego creates. It's all ego-based. That's the veil, is the ego creating limitations because it believes the material world and not what's beyond it. And the intelligence of the universe is all that you don't see and all that you see. It has created that too. Those are just lower vibrations to be able to go into a dense material form. Everything is just energy. It's transformed into the various unlimited forms that you see out there, including you. You animate that, and every molecule, every tiny little particle in your body is an intelligent, alive being, energy in its own. It's its own little universe, and it's so beyond what we can understand, but that's how powerful you are. Can you let go and allow a miracle and say, you know what, I don't have the answers. I don't know how things work. People will argue in comments about how things are, and I tell them, it doesn't matter, because everything exists. Every probability exists. Everything's true. True for you. You don't have to argue your point to somebody else, because they are equally as right. And so that makes it really powerful, because you can create what reality you want, because you would be right. So what is it you're creating right now? And what miracle do you want to open yourself up to? I have them happen all the time. And so we never know if one miracle, a car accident that you walk away from, is the first step that would avoid something else that might have happened. I never second guess anything. So if you name things good and bad, you're not understanding that the bad thing, you missed the flight. And, maybe the plane doesn't crash, but maybe, something would have happened along the way. Or when you landed, maybe you would have tripped and broke your leg. We don't know. But always know it happens exactly the way it's supposed to. But when you let go, you go into a space of some amazing things that'll happen for you. You stop having to learn the lessons, because now you're in the all-powerful, all-intelligent, unconditional love and pure faith, and that's where you want to be. That's where miracles happen. And that's why people have miracles, because they go into such a dark state of being that they let go. Eckhart Tolle, just let go. You can go into super awakened state that way. Miracles happen because you are no longer in charge as the dominating low vibration ego, but now you are that space that you are saying, yes, okay, bring it on, bring it on. And then you don't judge anything. You don't have a story behind it. It comes in and you deal with it. And you say, what am I supposed to learn from this? What can I do? My near-miss car accident, could have destroyed my car, and 2 feet from probably slicing me in half, didn't. In fact, not only was my car protected, but I had to take it in, and my wheel was pulverized. Something came off of a semi and bounced across the highway and hit me. It was huge. It was the rim, so it was like a, traveling blade. But it hit the perfect spot, pulverized, just shredded. My tire bounced up over the car, didn't destroy the car. And I walked away from that, and everybody saw it and said, holy cow. Within just a few inches, this would have been a completely different story. Why? Well, you know what? I took the car in and I said, replace all the tires. Maybe that was a prompt to replace the tires because something else might have happened. I don't know. But I saw it as a blessing, and I said, thank you, and everything's great. My little car is sitting out there running just great. What are these? I call them miracles. So again, a miracle can come from something that seems really bad. An illness. From that can come a miracle. But only if you go into that space, you can heal yourself. People do this all the time. People have actually died and come back completely healed. Why? They went into that massive, beautiful, perfect space where there was no limitations. None. And so once they went there, they opened a portal and they brought that back with them. They had an understanding. And all of a sudden, all of the ideas and beliefs and things that created the illness in the first place, they're gone. And they realize how trivial it is. It doesn't seem like it here, but it is in the big picture very trivial because it's not who you are. It's not what you are. And you can control everything, but only if you see the purpose in it, you master it, you say this is a blessing, and those people that you blame and you torture yourself over are your best teachers. But if you see them as evil or bad, or you're a victim and you're hurt, then that's your ego saying, poor little me. And I'm not saying this to demean you or say this isn't important. Of course, when you're feeling pain, that's real. But who's feeling pain? The ego is. The ego is, because when you go in a euphoric state, like Eckhart Tolle, you could be in any situation. People in the worst illnesses go into enlightenment. Even if they don't come back and they transition, they can go into that because they know that they never die. You are unlimited. This is an amazing opportunity. Live out this amazing, beautiful space. Miracles happen. And so I'm shooting this on Christmas Eve of 2022. This is going to be old real quick. But I want you to know that our future is a beautiful one. And every person on this planet can transition into something so amazingly powerful. It exists right here. Nothing's holding you back. Not even this low vibration body, because it isn't who and what you are. And that higher self is absolutely what is in operation, and all you have to do is say yes, and anything else that happens, it's part of the human experience you signed up for. Sign up for it, all right? I'm going to say that again. You chose it, and if you fight that, then you again are saying there's some other power that's doing something to me, and it's just not true. The one source doesn't make a mistake. It's doing everything. It is you. What are you going to do with it? It's exciting times coming up. Transition into amazing, beautiful enlightenment, love, community, collaboration, new openings. Portals are opening. What's a portal? It's just an energy field because we are tapping into a new vibration, new frequency, because we're going into that space of unlimited probabilities and saying, yes, miracles can happen because that's just what I am. You are a walking miracle. Only if you say yes, miracles happen. Okay? Hey, go buy my book. It's on Amazon. I think you'll love it. It'll surprise you. My girlfriend was on the plane reading it, and she goes, why didn't you tell me? I said, what? And she goes, I was on the plane crying. I said, good, it touched you. So you guys know, free stuff. I have new courses coming out. Activate Your Magic is an advanced manifesting course that'll blow your mind. But you have to be ready for it because you can't even manifest in an advanced way with these techniques if you have barriers. And so that's why Breakthrough Fear is my main course. If you're ready for that, free stuff will take you over to help you to master some things, free videos, free downloads, all these things. If you're already on my list, look at the bottom of your emails. You'll see opportunities to sign up for all kinds of really cool stuff, even a private coaching session with me. It's time to collaborate and stop holding back, naming things, and just seeing the world as negative and blaming. You know what? Everybody's beautiful and perfect. If something's not for you, say it's not for me. It doesn't make it wrong. All right, so please subscribe. And you guys know that we do training. We train entrepreneurs on how to create online businesses. Any kind of business you desire, we're creating our own businesses. We're controlling what we do for a living, how we earn. We're getting rewarded, and we're making a difference on the planet. You want to be a part of that? These are free videos. You can explore them. I don't know what else to tell you and give you. You hold the power equal to me and everyone else. These things you should do and more. Ye are all gods. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. And if you're seeing this on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all religions, all faiths. It's all the same thing. We are just saying yes and celebrating the one power that flows through you. It's unconditional, perfect love. That's all you are. Light. Namaste.